This is lesson 8.3, strong and weak acids and bases. So strong and weak acids, what is the difference? Well, if this is our acid, and it can be any acid, HA, that's dissociating into H plus and A minus ions. A strong acid is one where the equilibrium is going to lie to the right, meaning that it's mostly dissociated. It mostly forms H plus ions in solution. For example, hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid lies strongly to the right when you dissolve it in water. It's mostly forming H plus ions and chloride ions. A weak acid, in comparison, does not dissociate very much, meaning that it mostly exists as HA. It does not break up a lot into H plus and A minus. For example, acetic acid, like in vinegar, is a weak acid because for the most part it is acetic acid. It does not break up into H plus and acetate. Acid strength, however, does not tell you anything about acid concentration. Remember the molarity. So the strong acids that you need to memorize are hydrochloric acid, nitric acid, sulfuric acid, perchloric acid, hydrogen bromide or bromic acid, and hydroiodic acid, hydrogen iodide. The same thing goes for strong and weak bases. So a strong base is when the equilibrium lies to the right, meaning that it mostly dissociates into OH minus ions. So for example, sodium hydroxide is a strong base. It mostly exists as sodium ions and hydroxide ions. Weak bases, on the other hand, are when the equilibrium lies to the left, meaning that it's only partially dissociated. So ammonia, even though you think about it smelling really strong and you use it in cleaning, is actually a weak base because when you put that in water, even though some of it breaks apart to form OH minus ions from the water and you form ammonium, for the most part it exists as ammonia, NH3. So the strong bases that you have to memorize are the group 1 hydroxides and the group 2 hydroxides. So things like lithium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, barium hydroxide, and strontium hydroxide. So how do we tell the difference between a strong and a weak acid? Well, the first thing we can do is test its electrical conductivity. Strong acids and bases have more dissociated ions, and remember, ions conduct electricity. So the greater they dissociate, the better they conduct. The second thing you can measure is the rate of reaction. So strong acids and bases are going to react faster. And the third thing is the pH. We can measure the concentration of H plus ions. The higher that concentration, the lower the pH.